What up, everybody? It's your boy Turn to Ash, guys. I am back. It's been, I can't even believe I'm going to say this. It's been 9 months since I've made a video, guys. It's been a long time, and man, oh man, I've missed it, guys. Here, a lot of great things happened. Got really busy with work here. Got 2 promotions in the matter of 9 months. So it's been great. Nothing but good things happening so far, guys, here. But I've missed this too much, and I looked at my YouTube channel. It's been 9 months. So I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get back to it, guys, here, because I really enjoyed making videos. So let's get back to it, guys, here. So this is going to be my One Piece recap for the last 9 months, guys, and I can't believe it's been that long. It just blows my mind. So I might say that a lot during the video, but the last video I made on the One Piece chapter, guys, was One Piece chapter 1003. So yes, it's been that long, guys. Here we are currently on chapter 1031, and we are on break this week, so I thought it would be a good week to make a recap video, talk about my thoughts on the 9 months that I missed, guys. Just recap a little bit, so that way come next Sunday I'm all caught up with you guys, ready to review and do my live reactions to chapter 1032, guys. So I got my handy black book here. It's going to help me, guys, because it's a lot. I didn't memorize everything, so forgive me if I missed something, guys. It's been almost like 30 chapters since I've made a review, so I wrote some notes. I'm going to go try to get most of the characters in, so forgive me if I missed someone, guys, or missed something important. But let me know, what's your favorite part of Wano country so far, guys? Make sure to comment below what is your favorite part or something that surprised you. I would love to hear it, guys, because Wano's been so fun to read here. I know a couple chapters back, I think it was like 1031 or 30 people have, we'll get there. The Kinemon thing, we'll get there. All right, guys, so let's start with the future Pirate King, Luffy. Oh man, Luffy is currently going one-on-one with Kaido, guys, here, and he got knocked off of Onigashima. He got jumped back on here. It's been crazy things. His battle with Kaido, I mean, he's lost like 3 times. I don't know if you want to say he's lost, but he's gotten his butt kicked about 3 times now. So Kaido has been whooping him back and forth, but Luffy keeps bouncing back and bouncing back. And thanks to Law's crew that gave him all the meat, and surprisingly Caribou, who just had, like, for some reason, a stash of meat inside of his gross swamp body that Luffy devoured. So now he's back at full strength, and we know Kaido at this point is starting to lose a little power. Like, they're trickling his power down and down and down. With all the fights Kaido's been in at this point, it makes sense that he's losing a little bit of power. He's not impervious. He's lost before. He's just sturdy as all hell, man. So really cool that Oda kind of showed us his power was weakening by showing Onigashima slowly losing its control, or the dragon clouds, the flame clouds he has around Onigashima, keeping it floating above the mainland. Those are starting to lose its power because his body is starting to weaken because of all the damage that's matriculated over him throughout this battle. So from the 9 Red Scabbards, from the Minks, from Zoro, from Kid, from Law, like everyone has been hitting him. It's gonna take its toll eventually. So we're starting to see that come to fruition. Now we're finally in the one-on-one battle. We kind of stepped away from it for now, but Luffy is finally clashing with Kaido, guys. I think this is gonna be the final battle. I don't think Luffy's gonna lose anymore. This is it. He's gonna take it to Kaido. And last we saw that big Clash of Conquerors hockey, which was so cool. It split the sky, kind of saying they're on the same level now. Not that Luffy is stronger than Kaido right now, but with all the damage Kaido has taken and how strong Luffy is, having all the meat, he's back to full strength, or close to full strength. I wouldn't say full strength, but close to full strength here. Like, I would say 60 to 75%. That Clash of Hockey is showing, hey, Luffy is at this level now. Like, he's on Yonko level. This is about to be the battle for Wano country. So this is really cool. That's awesome. Last time I did my review, Kaido was just about to reveal his hybrid form. So it's been that long, and we all know what that looks like. It was cool. I think a lot of people had thoughts about what it was going to look like. I don't mind the design. I thought it was really cool looking. So I like the design. I thought it was cool. He still looks like a badass, and he's been going in and out of his regular form, his dragon form, and his hybrid form. I think currently he's in his hybrid form right now. So really cool. That's the battle between Luffy and Kaido. I'm not going to try to go into too much depth because I don't want this video to be like 50 minutes long. So I'm going to give my thoughts a little bit on each character. So I'm going to try to get all the Straw Hats in first. So that's Sanji, or not Sanji, he's on my mind from the last chapter, guys. That is Luffy, and that's Kaido. Luffy, Kaido about to do their main battle. I think they're going to save that for last, guys, because Luffy's going to power punch, awaken him right into the ground. That's got to be next, guys. So we're going to talk about awakening soon as well. But Luffy, I believe, is definitely going to awaken in this final battle with Kaido. I don't know if he's going to make like some kind of bounce world where he can just create everything around him as rubber and he can just zip all around, kind of like he did when, or kind of not like he did, but Bellamy did when he did the spring world thing and was bouncing all around. But even cooler than that, which will be awesome. So I think rubber world or bounce world is going to be a thing, something like that. If it's going to affect his surroundings, like we know the paramecia type devil fruits do. So that's really cool. So hopefully Luffy's going to awaken, but I think it's going to be a little bit until we see the final battle between Kaido and Luffy. So that's where they are right now. Let's bump it down. Zoro is next, guys. Zoro has been having a super, super cool arc. Last time I did my chapter review, he was fighting on top of Onigashima with Luffy and the others against Kaido and Big Mom. He's currently fighting against King, and his battle with King has been really, really cool, guys. Here, they're very evenly matched right now. It looks like King is just volleying attacks in his zone form and just going after him. Zoro is blocking them as best he can here, and it looks like King's speed is going to be a problem for Zoro because he is zipping in and out of the air, attacking Zoro with his beak. It's really cool, and Zoro's doing his best to kind of just evade his attacks and block when needed to. So really cool fight. I love that we got to see part of King's head, so what's under his face mask, and the fact that he's like a moon person, and then that they have like something to do with the Lost Century and the flames, and they can control fire. It's really cool, and Queen kind of went into that a little bit, guys. So really awesome. The backstory on King is going to be really cool. So I hope right before he loses to Zoro or something like that, we get a flashback of King and kind of what he went through and him meeting Kaido or something like that, just to kind of get a little background. We don't have to go into too much depth. I would love to know more about the moon race and what they're all about here, or Lunarians is what they're called. That's what I was trying to figure out, Lunarians. So they would be really cool to learn more about them, but I hope we get that maybe a little deeper in with Robin. So I hope Robin is the one to explain kind of the Lost Century, and we go into this deep flashback for like 20 chapters about what happened, 20, 40, 50, I don't care. Just all of that information. The Lost Century would be so cool. So if that's its own arc and we just get a flashback and we're away from the Straw Hats for a while, it'd be like, it would suck a little bit, but at the same time, all that lore would be so cool. So I hope we get a lot more information there. But a little background on King would be cool. So we got to see his hair, and I don't know if it's blonde or white or whatever it is, but it looked really cool. But he did not appreciate his mask being hit. So he's probably really pissed at Zoro right now. And Zoro's like, yeah, whatever, buddy. Like, I'm not worried about you and your face. He honored it. Zoro's a good guy. He's not going to do anything dirty to mess with King. So I think it'll be an honorable fight, and I can't wait to see that. I think we're going to pick up on King and Zoro, Sanji and Queen in the next few chapters, guys. Really finalize these big fights here because we got to get more into Law, Kid, Big Mom, which is also its own thing, guys, here. And I'm just going to keep rambling. This video might be 50 minutes long, so I'm going to try to keep it to a content. But that's where we are right now. Zoro against King. King is following Zoro with a bunch of attacks, and Zoro just had his conversation with Sanji, the death deal. So cool, guys. I'm going to get into that a little bit when I talk about Sanji, which is right now, guys. Sanji, I think everyone is hyped about Sanji's actions in the last chapter, guys, which is so cool. So Sanji's going through this like instability with his body right now. His body was changing. We saw Queen smack him against the face, and he just popped his cheek out here. Or Queen's body is so weird, and I think Oda's having so much fun with the dinosaurs. So part of us, let's be honest, part of us knew that Queen was going to do something weird with his body, but the fact that he turned from a brachiosaurus into a snake, like, Oda, come on, man. Like, that's so ridiculous. So funny. So I guess this is how dinosaurs work, because we had Sasaki with his like helicopter head, whatever it is, it's fine. So Queen got smashed by, or Sanji got smashed by Queen's snake version, and you saw his body all bent up and looking weird, and he just kind of like popped his body back into place, which like, so that's really cool. So obviously the raid suit has been changing Sanji's body into the more of the Germa body with like the iron body, so he can kind of kink himself out, just like I think it was the youngest brother, just kind of like had to bang his head with a hammer and kind of like popped his like head back out. So he's kind of turning into an iron body, like a metal body, not quite like a cyborg, but just like his body can be like pushed back in, kind of like iron or metal. So he's having an existential crisis right now about his body changing and is losing his emotions and just being a robot, kind of like his brothers are, and a little bit like Reiju, but not as much, because Reiju still has her emotions. She just has to listen to Judge on whatever he says. But so he's going a little crazy right now. He ran away from Queen, trying to kind of figure it out, bring himself back to reality a little bit. But in the process of him running away, and we all know this from the last chapter, he apparently hit a woman, and he obviously didn't know he did it. He kind of like blacked out while he was running, but the way she looked at him made Sanji like, holy shit, is this what's happening right now? Queen eventually catches up to him. We see this in the last chapter as well. It's like, hey, he's been wanting him to put on the raid suit. He wants to see Judge's technology and what the Germa technology is all about. And Sanji's like, oh man, what would Luffy want? Does Luffy want a loyal cyborg, just a mental gap who's just like, I can kick anyone's ass as long as Luffy tells me to? Or does he want the normal me, the me who I've always been, the guy who can't fight girls, but loves Luffy and loves the crew and loves my family, like not the Germa family, but his other family? So like, that was a decision Sanji had to make, and man, oh man, I think all of us are happy that he made the decision. I think we're a little sad that he destroyed the raid suit, but he drops the raid suit down to the ground. He finally is clear-minded, and he smashes the raid suit in front of Queen and explodes. Queen's like, oh, what a waste. But I think Sanji did the right thing. But I think Sanji still has his invisibility powers. I thought at first, but after watching a few reviews as well from like Roger's Base and King of Lightning and Teching 101, that maybe he still has his invisibility, because it looks like he just Soros out of the way, like super fast. He disappears from Queen's sight, and eventually he's up in the air and does Hell's Memories, and he kicks Queen in the chest and just sends him flying. So it looks like Queen lost him for a second. I don't know if Sanji's always been known to be fast, but it looks like he actually disappeared when invisible. So maybe the powers are still there, but the raid suit just enhances the powers. And this has been a theory for a long time since we've seen the raid suits, that they can still use the powers, because I think we see Ichiji and Niji uses lightning powers, the lightning blue, but when he has his raid suit on, it's even more powerful. So maybe he can still use it in invisibility, but just not for as long as he would be able to if he was in the raid suit. So maybe it has a shorter time limit now. So that would be like a dream come true for Sanji. If he still has invisibility and he can still be normal, or maybe have that stronger body but keep his emotions in check, because he didn't go through like the full complete transformation, because it looks like his transformation is done so far. So that was really cool to see. Sanji's fight with Queen is just picking up, and it looks like he is about to kick some ass. But one of the things we saw is him call Zoro at the end of the chapter and say, hey, look, Mosshead, I know we're in the middle of a battle, but we're going to win soon. Like, this is inevitable. We are going to beat the Beast Pirates, and we're going to move on, and Luffy's going to become a Yonko, King of the Pirates. If I am not my normal self at the end of this battle, I want you to promise me that you'll kill me. So this is the death promise he makes with Zoro. Zoro's kind of taken back. He's in the middle of a battle with King. He didn't even know he had a transponder snail on him. He's like, what are you talking about? Fine. And Zoro senses the tone that Sanji's talking about, and him and Sanji have that rivalry, but at the same time there's a level of respect there. And Zoro's like, I don't know what you're talking about, but fine. If you're not being your normal self, I'll take you out. And that's all Sanji needed to hear. He's like, thanks, all right, let's kick some ass, peace out. So that's where we leave off between Sanji and Zoro, man. That is going to be so cool. That's going to be such a fun ending to this. And I think Zoro, it's a comedy relief, may at the end of this, regardless if Sanji's normal or not, still try to kill Sanji. So he's like, nope, you're being weird. I'm just going to, you know what? promise is a promise. Just let me take you out. Just lay your head down. So I think that would be funny to see regardless of what happens. I think Sanji will be just fine. I think he'll keep his emotions and be his normal awesome self. I think it's too late in the game for him to go through a change of character that dramatic. So that's where Sanji is right now here. So really excited to see his finishing battle between Queen and Sanji. So let's move on, guys, here, the rest of the crew. And I'm going to kind of blitz through the rest of the Straw Hats because we know where they are. Jinbei against Who's Who. Jinbei smashed Who's Who was talking crap about slavery and the fishmen and like kind of their place in the world and what was going to happen in Fisher Tiger, and cool lore from that fight. We got some lore about other things in the past of Void Century that hopefully we'll be able to find out soon with Robin as well. But Jinbei wasn't taking it and just smashed Who's Who. So Who's Who is out of the way. And I don't think we've seen Jinbei in a little while. So I think he's running around somewhere, helping out, just taking out fodder and trying to keep everything to like the damage to a minimum, even though the freaking castle's on fire. So he's doing his best. So that's it. Nami and Usopp were together against Ulti, Page 1. They took Ulti and Page 1 out with the help, obviously, of Big Mom, who kind of, she's the one who took Ulti and Page 1 out for real. So really cool there. That was a great fight. Obviously, Nami and Usopp, part of the weakling trio, so they weren't going to do too much, but they had some great moments in this one here, obviously, with that as well. And then Nami got Prometheus. No, Zeus. He got Zeus. There we go. Nami's reconnected with Zeus, which is cool. So Zeus kind of helped power Nami up. So that'll be great to see their bond grow. And I'm interested to see what happens if Big Mom dies or loses. What happens to Zeus? If Zeus will just be with Nami forever now? I'm not sure how it works. So we'll see. And Usopp kind of did his thing. He ran away right now. But currently, Usopp is on his way to Kinemon to help the Scabbards out. Because big controversy a couple chapters ago with Kinemon being cut in half. Last time we saw Kinemon and the Scabbards, Kaido kind of fell into the middle area of the rooftop and kind of ended up right in front of the Scabbards and just full swing, flexed on them and just bam, 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 like messed up the Scabbards. Apparently, Kiku is on the verge of death, which we kind of figured. Kinemon, we figured, got the worst of that. He was on the verge of death. As far as we knew, he was on the ground bleeding. Apparently, Kaido hit him so hard he got cut in half. But apparently, he never got put together properly from when Law diced him up. So whoever put him back together, I think it was Sanji that we heard. Sanji put him back together. Apparently, he was like just this much off. If it's just this much off, he can be broken apart again. That's the where we're going with this, apparently. So Kinemon figured out that he could use his legs. His upper body was pretty damaged, but he could run around. So he's like trying to talk through his like butthole on the top of his body. I think like just torso half. He's talking through the little hole on the top, spitting and farting, guys. Eventually he runs in to the allies and Usopp and Nami. So he's trying to figure out, Nami draws the Kozuki clan logo in his body, and he figures out, because he can't see or hear, that they're allies. He kind of talks like, hey, my friend is dying, anyone come help. So Usopp jumps on one of the beast pirates that's under Tama's control, and he's off to go try to find Kinemon. And I assume he's going to get Kinemon, Okiku, whatever other Scabbards are up there, and they're going to be okay. Which, you know, we know that Oda doesn't like to kill people off, the will of K, and now the will of P. So it's whatever. It's disappointing that, sure, I didn't want them to die, but it makes sense for them to die to kind of usher in the new crew. But I would love for them to see Momo take the reins as Shogun and be there for him to kind of guide him through, even though we're going to see the adult version of Momo eventually here. So that would be really cool. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens with them. We haven't seen much from the Red Scabbards recently, so I don't really know where they are, how many of them are alive. We haven't seen Denjiro, Asher, Doji. We haven't seen Kawamatsu in a long time. So I don't know what's going on with the Red Scabbards. So TBD for them. We'll see how many of them are alive and what kind of damage they've taken. So that is coming up. I'm sure we'll see glimpses of them when Usopp gets up to them and Kinemon. So that's what's happening with them. Kanjuro, part of the Red Scabbards as well. He apparently died in the last chapter, but one last thing he did, he drew that blob thing, and it's just a ghost flame, and it's just lighting the castle on fire on Orochi's command. So we'll get to Orochi, but that's what Kanjuro did. Apparently he died. Good. I could care less about Kanjuro right now. He's a piece of shit. So that's Kanjuro. That's the Red Scabbards. Let's move on. So that was Nami and Usopp. That's what they're doing right now. Their battles, I think for the most part, is going to be done. They're just going to mess up with fodder and probably help the Scabbards get back to everything. Now, one of the big fights came up was Robin and Brook against Black Maria and her crew. Really, really cool fight between them. Really awesome to see. Best part of this was Robin's devil form. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Robin's devil form was so cool. Black Maria was talking the most shit to Robin. So obviously Robin was like, hey, like, let's not talk shit about my family, my friends. Like, you're asking for it, and keep calling me the devil, and I'll show you. So apparently, Robin has this devil form. So she turns huge. She makes this huge version of herself, and it's just blacked out with these red eyes. And she grabs Black Maria and just snaps her. Black Maria's got to be dead. Like, for like 90% sure, Black Maria is dead. She did like a super devil crutch on her. Oh man, that was such a cool chapter, such a cool fight scene between Black Maria and Brook. And I like the spiderweb theme of Black Maria. She wasn't all that strong, apparently, so but she was really brutal. I mean, she was probably the most brutal of all the Todoroki that we've seen. Like, she enjoyed bringing men in and then beating them with her like buster knuckles. Like, she was brutal. She wanted to beat up Robin. She was torturous. Like, she was as a snake, or not snake, but a spider. Like, she really liked the torture thing. She liked to web people up, and she had that spinning dog wheel, which was really interesting. So Black Maria's fight with Robin and Brook was really cool. Brook was more on mop-up duty. He took care of Black Maria's crew and one of the numbers as well, one of the female numbers. So Brook kind of froze him, knocked him out. He took care of the fodder while Robin went into her devil form and took out Black Maria. So that was their fight. Really cool to see Robin's devil form. I can't wait to see more of that, and maybe she'll be able to finalize that and make it like a hockey form. So a lot of people want Robin to get hockey, especially not Conqueror's hockey. I'm blanking out right now, but I think it would be really cool for her devil form to get hockey, and that would make her so much more devastating. And I think with all the fights that Robin has been through, I think hockey is definitely within her repertoire to get. So that would be really cool. Right now, Robin and Brook are on the run from CP0. We got a really cool scene from CP0, guys. CP0 is on the hunt now. They were doing the gameplay. They were telling us how many people were still there, how many people are alive, who's on whose side, and how many people are left. So right now, they told us that there's 12,000 Beast Pirates, 8,000 of the Rebellion. So the Rebellion is slowly taking away the Beast Pirates, thanks to Tama, and adding to the numbers and slowly dwindling away from the Beast Pirates numbers. So really cool to get that play-by-play on the show, the board from one of the mask guys here. And a couple chapters back, we got a conversation between CP0, who's on Wano country right now, and we got the ones on the ship. And I'm trying to Lucci. There we go. Lucci, Kaku, and I think Stussy was with them as well. They relayed information from whoever their boss is, and maybe it's Kong or King. Kong. I think it's Kong. That their job now is to get Robin. That is their main mission. So they finally left the impenetrable guest room, which apparently no one can damage. Or maybe it's like at the weird part of the castle, but this place is taking no damage, and they just saunter out like nothing happened. So they're on the move now. CP0 is on the move, and we saw all the world government ships coming on. They're going to surround Wano, kind of like the borders of Japan openings here. So very similar to the black ships arriving. Really cool scene there, and I cannot wait. A lot of people guess that this is heaven. She's wanting this toy. So really cool to see the world government ships coming our way, and to see they're probably gonna open up Wano country. Drop. Gotta love the squeaky toys, right? They're probably gonna open up the borders of Wano country, and maybe they'll work with Momo and them. I don't know how they're gonna be able to, after this battle, to push the world government off. There's gonna be way too much damage done. People are going to be weakened. There's no like samurai army now. I feel like everyone's going to be way too tired, way too beaten up to, after this battle, fight off the world government and keep Wano country independent. So I think the world government's going to come in, take over, and make Wano country part of the world government. But it won't be bad. It'll be a good thing. And Momo and the world government will work together. And maybe we'll have one of the allied marines like Kobe or Garp come in and kind of like be the voice of reason between Momo and the world government. So maybe that'll be something like that. I don't know if it's going to be one of those two, but someone we can trust. Hopefully. That'll be the goal. So that's what's going on with Robin and Brooke right now. They're on the run from CP0, and I can't wait to get a conversation between them as well. So hopefully CP0 comes close. The shorter guy kind of soared away and caught up, or maybe caught up to Robin, as he just disappears. So we don't see what happened to him, because I think he's trying to catch up with Robin and Brooke. So that's what's going on with them. Frankie is running around in his Battle Frankie form, guys. He was taking out fodder. He met up with Zoro really shortly. He wrapped up his battle with Sasaki by doing his laser right through Sasaki's stomach, and Sasaki was doing some weird dinosaur shit with his like brill, and it was turning into a helicopter. It was just weird. But Frankie's fight was awesome. The Frankie Battle Shogun got destroyed apparently, which was really sad to see, because I love the Frankie Battle Shogun, so cool. But apparently that got destroyed in the process, so I'm sure he'll make a new one, an even cooler one. So that's what's going on with Frankie. He's kind of running around just hanging out right now, just taking out fodder or trying to reduce damage control. So Frankie is moving around. Chopper is still in his like Baby Gramps form after going into his like giant form. Baby Gramps Chopper form is going to sell so much merchandise. It's so funny. He's still talking in like that grandpa form. So he's been on the main performance floor for most of this battle. He's the one who kind of took care of Zoro while Zoro was hurt. Him and the Minks are working together. They give Zoro the shot. He's doing damage control. He's kind of taking care of people. We're in the battle. So we haven't seen Chopper in a little bit, so I think he's still doing his thing. Him and Marco are working together to kind of keep everyone healthy and alive. So that's what's Chopper doing. And then we talked about Usopp. So that's everybody in the Straw Hats. So that's what they're doing right now. Now, already 27 minutes in, guys. It's going to be a long video. Let's talk Worst Generation really quick. So, Law and Kid. Oh my God, guys! Law and Kid awaken. Apparently, I don't know where that came from, or I need a sip of tea. One second. It's a lot of talking. So Law and Kid are awakened. So apparently that happened, guys. So in the last chapter, they were on top of the roof. In the last chapter I reviewed, chapter 1000, they're on the roof with Luffy and everyone. They were still fighting Big Mom and Kaido together. They got separated. Now Kid and Law fighting Big Mom 2-on-1 somewhere in the castle, and they are going in. And Big Mom has had the upper hand for most of this fight here. I mean, she's obviously this big iron balloon. She's hard to take down. Obviously, she's a Yonko. She's not going to be an easy breeze for these guys here, but having Kid and Law work together, really, really cool. I enjoyed that this was the tag team that Oda picked to take down Big Mom. I love it. I'm glad it wasn't like a one-on-one with Kid and Big Mom. I'm glad Law and Kid are doing this together. And they seem to be communicating and working together pretty well. Obviously, they're still rivals. They're not going to tell each other all their secrets. We kind of see this coming. That's normal. That's totally fine with me. But their teamwork has worked pretty well. So, a couple chapters ago, we finally see their awakening. Amazing. So cool. So, Kid's awakening is super cool. He is a magnet himself. That's his paramecia. He's the magna fruit. Him himself is a magnet, so he can repel and extend things away and to him, guys. So magnet Sao. His awakening affects his surroundings. He can make other things magnets. So he makes Big Mom a super magnet. So cool. Did not see that coming, guys. So when he touches Big Mom, and I forget the name of it right now, but when he touches Big Mom, she becomes a super magnet, guys, and all the beams and all the metal in the surrounding area just attach to Big Mom and kind of crush her down. Before this happened, we see Law's awakening. Kroom. Law's paramecia affects his surroundings. He makes the room, and he can take and jingle things to his desire. His awakening affects interior, so it affects himself and the things he's touching. So he put his Kroom, like Kroom, on his sword. He stabbed Big Mom through the neck. It didn't hurt her because it kind of like ghosted through her neck, but he can expands. So now that he's inside of her, it affects his sword. He just lets off a bomb inside Big Mom. You see the smoke and blood coming out of her, and it's the most damage Big Mom has taken, from the beams to all the metal hitting her to the croom that he did inside of her. Anesthesia is what it was, I think. Anesthesia may just been how he put it through her. And I keep forgetting what the names are called, but I'll go through it in the next review. So cool to see their awakening, guys, here. But as we kind of figured, Big Mom bursts out of all the metal beams and everything, and she's like, man, oh man, all right, I'm not going to take you guys lightly anymore. That is a lot of damage I've been taking. All right, you kids think you're tough? She turns all of the beams and metal into homies, taking them out of kids' control now. She life or Oshiruko'd all of the beast pirates, taking all their souls away to put them in to make their homies. And I think we've never seen this before. She took part of her own lifespan. She took a year of her own lifespan and ate it and gave it to Napoleon and Prometheus, making herself, I don't know, 1.5 times bigger. She grew. So did Napoleon, so did Hera, so did Prometheus. They're huge now. You see just flames coming out of her hair and her eyes. Her face is darkened, and she means business. She's like, okay, kids, let's see if you guys are worthy of the name Yonko. Like, let's go. Now the fight begins. Apparently, Zoro and Kid's awakening attacks drain their energy like crazy. Law even says it's a one and done. Like, if I use this attack, I might as well lose the battle. So, now that they use the attacks, they're standing up, they're facing Big Mom. Are they going to be able to do anything at this point? Like, I'm not sure. Based on what they said, this is going based on what they said in the chapter, they should not be able to handle Big Mom the rest of the way. So I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll be on the verge of death, and the Marines and everything will be coming into Wano, and Big Mom will be like, you survived this time, but next time you won't be so lucky, and she'll leave with the Big Mom pirates for another battle a different day. So I just can't think of a way that they're gonna do something unless they pull some new moves out of their head and do some kind of crazy combination, like a life or ditch situation, that they're gonna be able to like hit Big Mom and then kind of run away. I just can't see a way that Law and Kid at this point, and how much damage they've taken after using their awakening, that they're going to be able to beat Big Mom in her heightened super state. I don't know. Like, Big Mom's taking some damage. Obviously, she's hurt. But the way she looks right now and the way Kid and Law are after using their attacks, I just can't see a way that they win this battle. So I think Big Mom will either retreat from the world government, or they'll find a way to kind of knock her off Onigashima. And then the Big Mom pirates will scoop her up, take her somewhere, and that'll be it. I don't think Big Mom will be killed or defeated in this arc. She'll be defeated at a different time, maybe on Elbaf. So that's what's going on with Law and Kid right now. Moving on, Hawkins and Killer's fight was really, really cool. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but really cool fight. Hawkins was really kind of keeping Killer on a string. He couldn't really do much because Hawkins connected his body to Kid's body, and Kid was struggling because he was like banging his head on the walls, and every time Killer attacked Hawkins, it was hurting Kid. So Hawkins had the upper hand a lot, but he was getting cocky, and Killer slowly but surely figured out his weaknesses and how it worked. And Hawkins, for some reason, only had Kid's thing in his body for some reason, and did not think ahead of time of how Kid's body was put together, obviously. So Killer figured it out, cut out Hawkins's arm, which was Kid's left arm or right arm, whichever one he doesn't have, and it didn't affect Kid because he doesn't have the arm. This helped Killer get Kid's little puppet thing, and then he sliced up Hawkins. Like, Hawkins is no go. He might even be dead by this point. Like, Hawkins really got a little too cocky for his own britches. So that's what happened between Killer and Hawkins. Killer wins, and he's like, all right, buddy, go loose, get loose, like, go after it. So it was cool to see Killer and Kid's bond a little bit. You know, they're friends. They've been together for a long time since they were little. So it's really cool to see the bond and the respect Killer has for his captain and Kid. So that was a really cool fight. That's part of the Worst Generation. Apu and Drake are meeting up right now, and apparently Apu is just the worst of the worst piece of shit. So he's a traitor of all traitors. Like, he's on no one's team, and it's smart, and it's also risky on his part that he's not very loyal to anyone. So right now he's trying to betray he's trying to betray Kaido. He wanted to use Drake as like an ally, so when everyone is down and out after this battle, like, someone's got to lose, but someone's going to be on death's door after the battle between Luffy and Kaido, and everyone else is going to be hurt. Toby wrote our damage. She's like, let's use this opportunity, talking to Drake. Like, everyone's going to be tired. This is our opportunity. Let's hang out here. And he's with the 3 numbers, the 1, 2, and 3, the 3 big numbers. And it was wild before we saw him. People were speculating, are we ever going to see the main numbers again? Yes, we do. They're with Apu, kind of chilling in this number room, and they're eating food and hanging out. We got like the devil, the number 1 dude. He's like the devil looking guy. So really cool. Apu's hanging out with them, and Drake is listening to Apu, kind of trying to get him to join Apu's side, and Drake isn't having any of it. Drake is like, you're a traitor, you're a piece of shit, you're a scumbag. Like, I'm not joining up with you. I know what you're all about. So he is determined now to take out Apu. That's Drake's goal. Drake is about to fight Apu. Apu's not having it. He's like, he really doesn't want to fight. He just wants to get out of here unscathed. So I think Apu is going to get beat up a little bit, but I think he's going to run away and escape and maybe join Blackbeard. That would be a good one. He's an information broker, is what Yamato calls him, because Yamato bursts into the scene, and right off the bat, Apu's like, hey, Yamato, let's work together. And Yamato's like, dude, F off. Like, I'm not messing with you. So that's where Apu and Drake are right now. They're clashing. Apu got away from all of the but all the people on the performance floor when Queen tried to, like, here's the antidote, chase Apu. So he got away. Luckily, he got cut up by Zoro, but Apu, to his credit, is pretty sturdy. Like, he took the attack from Zoro, and he looks perfectly fine, to be honest. So good on him. Apu's part of the worst generation for a reason. He's tough. He's smart. He's clever. So I think he's going to get out of here just fine. But if he dies and Drake kills him, won't hear me complain. Yeah, it would be great to get a little more information about Apu. But honestly, of all the worst generation, he's the one I care the least amount about. So whatever happens to Apu, I don't care. So hopefully Drake kills him. That'd be great. So that's where Drake and Apu are, and that's most of the worst generation right now. So I think that's most of the people, guys. We talked about the 9 Scabbards a little bit. They're all down and out for most of their fights. Nekomamushi and Inuarashi took out Perospero and Jack. So that's a good one. That was a great fight to see them kind of jump back in their hybrid forms and kind of take down Perospero and Jack. Finally, Perospero gets taken down. Hopefully, Perospero's dead. Honestly, hopefully he's dead. He's taken crazy amount of damage. The Will of Peace survives in Perospero. So that he's taken some insane damage. So hopefully he's down for the count finally. Jack finally is taken out as well. Both of them have crazy stamina and bodies. So finally, Inuarashi, Nekomamushi getting some revenge on those two. That's awesome to see. The rest of the Minks are doing okay. They're kind of holding off the fodder Minks, holding off CP0 for now, trying to keep them away from Nico, Robin, and Brooke. They're not going to be able to do that. Robin says that the ones wearing the masks, CP0, the ones wearing the masks, are the strongest of the strongest. So I don't know if because those 3 are wearing the masks, they're like the toughest ones. I don't know what's going on with the deal with, because it sounded like Lucci was giving them orders, but maybe he was just relaying information from Kong. So I don't know the dynamic of CP0. I'm sure we're going to learn more about it as we get into these final arcs and who's kind of the head of who. And we need to see Kong again, like, so badly. We saw him like one time and no one ever talks to him. He's second in command under the Gorosei. Like, we just see the elite or fleet admiral. We see Sakazuki a lot. But what about Kong? Like, let's see more of him. I want to just anything. And him giving orders to CP0 or him calling up Lucci and be like, hey, these are the new orders. Like, go execute it. Like, I just want to see something from him. Like, I don't know if Oda just, like, written him off or just forgot about him. I hope not. Because Kong is so cool with his beefed up arms, like, just sitting here like a beefcake. He's huge. I mean, he would put Garp to bed. Just like, here, boy, lay it out. So I hope we see more of Kong, and I hope he's the one relaying information to CP0. If not him, then the Gorosei. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm excited to see more of CP0 and their communication, how this is all going to end up between them, Robin, the world government coming into town. Really cool. Momo, Yamato. Momo right now in his dragon form. Really cool. He helped Luffy out a little bit with the battle with Kaido. He like bit Kaido and Kaido like screamed out. Really cool scene. He is now an adult. So he got aged by that devil fruit power. And now he's adult and kind of similar to Odin. We don't know exactly what he looks like. We saw him in silhouette, but apparently he kind of looks like Odin. So eventually we're going to see Momo in his adult body form. He still has the mind of a kid. He's still the 8-year-old, but his body has matured, giving him the power to grow into the huge pink dragon, which is really cool. So now him and Yamato planned to kind of keep Onigashima up. Onigashima is slowly going to drop down like a nuke on top of the mainland. So if Onigashima drops, it's got a bunch of firepower in the bottom of Onigashima. So just like the tip of a bomb, if that thing touches the ground, the damage is going to be insane. Like seriously, the mainland of Wano Kuni might be honestly destroyed, completely gone, everyone wiped out, and then Kaido can kind of build on top of the ashes his new pirate paradise. So that's Momo's mission right now. He's trying to create the flame clouds that Kaido has, trying to either support them or create new ones. So he's kind of poofing his little flame clouds. He doesn't understand how to use them yet because he doesn't really understand how to use his body. It's always been on accident. He kind of jumps into his dragon form on accident when we saw him early on. And now that he's in his huge form, he's kind of learning on the go. So he's slowly learning how to use the dragon flame or the flame clouds. So I think he's eventually going to find out a way to do them, if not enhance Kaido's clouds that are already there, or eventually just make enough little ones to kind of prop up Onigashima so they won't fall. Yamato is on her way to the vault, the firearms vault, where all of the gunpowder and weapons that Orochi had Kaido make and all of the factories, they're all stockpiled on the bottom of Onigashima, some basement level things. So she's on her way there in her hybrid form. So cool. We get to see her full version, the dog fruit. It's called the Okuchi no Makami. I hope I'm saying that right. Okuchi no Makami. So the dog fruit, motto Okuchi no Makami. Her devil fruit is cool. It's very ice-based, we believe, because we see like the cold breath coming out of her, and she used ice attacks when her fight with Kaido, which by itself was a really cool fight. Her and Kaido's fight was awesome, holding Kaido off a little bit. Obviously, she wasn't going to beat Kaido, but she was just holding him back just enough for Luffy to recover, get back to the top of Onigashima. So really cool to see her dynamic, her pretty much telling her father off. Her father was like, listen, this is how life goes. We saw a little bit of the backstory of her getting thrown into that little cave. We saw some of the old samurai that were there that talked to her, some of the old, I'm trying to think of the name of what it's called. It's whatever Odin's rank was in Wano Kuni. I can't think of the name right now. Not a shogun, but whatever the step below is, guys. Sorry, brain fire. I've been talking for too long, apparently, and I can't remember them. So 3 of them were in the cave with her. They shared their food with her, and this is where her admiration for Odin kind of came along. She shared the logbook with them as well, and they communicated, and her love for the samurai just built from there. So that was really cool to see her dynamic with some of the samurai from Onigashima. They eventually broke her out. We think they died. Kaido kind of like killed them all for them. A lot of people are thinking that those 3's DNA were put into the top 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. Very similar looks to what those 3 look like. So that is a really cool theory out there as well. We'll see if that comes to fruition. I don't think it's going to be the case. I think that's a big jump, but really cool to see that if so, that would be really cool to see if the samurai DNA in the numbers makes them stronger, the 1, 2, and 3. And one of them is chasing Yamato right now to the firearms vault in the basement. So that's the last thing we see of Yamato and Momo. And that's about it, guys. I think that's everything. I covered most of the main characters. We covered King, Queen, Jack. So we covered all of them, all the Straw Hats, what they're doing, all the Worst Generation. So guys, Wano's been such a fun arc right now, guys. We're kind of coming towards the end. We're starting to see and wrap up these final battles. So we still got King, Queen, Zoro, Sanji's battles to keep up. Law, Kid versus Big Mom. Kind of, oh my gosh, excuse me. Wrapping that up as well. And finally, we're going to get the last battle between Luffy and Kaido. I cannot wait, guys. It's going to be such a fun ending to Wano Kuni. I cannot wait to see what happens towards the end of the arc, guys. Sorry for this long video. If you've been with me since the guys, awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited to be back, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more videos, and let's get back into it. 9 months, so long, guys. I'll be back next Sunday with my live reaction of chapters 132. I'm going to stick to live reactions for the first few weeks. Eventually, I'll get back to doing reviews as well, guys. And I'll get into My Hero Academia recap as well coming up, guys. That'll be either this week or next week as well. So look forward to that video, guys. My Hero Academia recap will be coming out as well. So excited. Love you guys. I will be back. Peace.